Could you please tell us the story about how you got the cigar when you were in the hotel room?
You know, I've been smoking cigar for 40 years, and Steve's been smoking cigar for a long time too.
28 years.
28 years. One day I was in Prague during the New Year because it's always snowing out there, it's nice and so forth. Except that year we were there. It just did not snow at all. My wife said, "Well, you want snow?" I know the closest place to Prague is Berlin. You have plenty of snow in there. I called a friend of mine, president of Dorchester Collection. I said, "Hey, you have a palace out there. I want some room in there." He says, "Great, I'll have somebody call you." So the general manager of the hotel called me. He said, "Mr. Younan, tomorrow's the New Year. You know that, right?" I said, "Yeah." He says, "Well, after New York, Berlin is the second largest New Year party in the world. 4 million people come." He says, "So we don't have any room." I said, "Look, I want 5 rooms, so call me back in 15 minutes, give me the room number," and I hang up on him. Shortly after he called me back, he says, "I got your room, but you have to take 14 rooms." I said, 10 minutes ago, you had no rooms, now you have 14 rooms. The royal family, King Abdullah, him and his son took the entire floor. When he inquired about it, he found out that his son is actually not coming in until after New Year. That they said, "Well, if you rent it for one family, it's okay." We went out there, and next morning I get up, told my wife, I said, "Let me go out there, just take a few puff, I'll be right up," right? And as I'm going out there, I saw the king right in front of me. "You going down?" I says, "Yeah." He says, "Let's go together." So we go to elevator together. It's me and him and a couple of his guys, and I have the cigar in my hand, but I'm holding it. I don't want him to see it, right? Because I knew he smoked cigar, but I just didn't. It was unpolite to do that. So he says to me, "You know, smoking a bad cigar is bad for you." I said, "I know, but this is the best I can find." He asked one of his guys to take it away from me. And I said, "Shit, I lost my cigar right now." And his other guy opened a bag, opened a box. He said, "This is a cigar you should smoke." And he gave me El Septimo, 2 El Septimo. I went outside and it was snowing cold, you know. I was wearing just a light jacket like this. And then I got mesmerized so much by this cigar. As I'm smoking it, I suddenly noticed my wife screaming at me, "Are you crazy? You're outside?" And I'm looking, I got snow all over me. And without realizing the time has gone by, right? Down the street is the oldest cigar store, established 1711. So I went to the guy, his name is Albert. I says, "Albert, I want a couple boxes of this cigar," and I had one in my hand because he gave me 2. He looked at it, he said, "Where'd you get this?" I said, "Why?" He said, "Where'd you get this cigar? This cigar people cannot get. It's called Cigar for the Kings. Only king smoked a cigar." And he says, "Oh, it was the King Abdullah," because he knew he was there at the hotel, right? He says, "Give it to me." And he took it from me. And I said, "Well, give me a couple boxes." I said, "We don't have any boxes, but I'll take the cigar from you. You can pick any cigar you want, Cuban, any cigars you want, but I'm going to keep this."
Terrible service for a cigar.
And I walked into my room. My wife said, "Somebody dropped you this box." They drop off the box that it was full of El Septimo cigars, right? We start smoking them, and there were a lot. There were 10 boxes. Each box had 20 cigars. So we start smoking it during our trip. We came home, we start smoking it, and I've been smoking with my wife since I married her, 34 years. We love smoking together. We ran out of them, obviously. One day I'm walking outside with 2 cigars in my hand. My wife says, "Where's El Septimo?" "I don't have El Septimo, but I have this great Cuban cigar." She says, "No, I don't want to smoke it." I says, "Oh, come on, stop being bougie. I mean, Jesus Christ. We don't have that cigar, so what? Let's smoke this damn Cuban. That's supposed to be the best cigar on the board." She says, "No, thank you. I'll pass." At that time, I realized there's something special about this cigar. One day I'm in Paris, right? And I asked my wife, I said, "Hey, I'm coming home. Do you want anything?" She said, "No." I thought she was going to ask for a purse or something. "No, but if you want to bring me something, bring me some El Septimo cigar." I said, "Here it goes again, El Septimo cigar." When we sat in the aircraft, I told the guy, I said, "Go to Geneva." He says, "We can't go to Geneva. We don't have a tel number."
This is rich boy stuff.
So I said to the pilot, I says, "Get on the plane, go to Geneva, do a SOS call." He said, "I will never do that." "Well, why? You're on my payroll. Why do you care?" "I will lose my license. I have to pay the fee." I said, "I'll take care of your fee." "I will lose my license." I said, "You sit home, you get your pay, and you don't have to fly anywhere." He says, "Okay, but this liability is on you." So anyway, we did the SOS call without any question. They said, "Land." So I went to the place that the head office of the cigar company was. The guy came in. I had a dinner with him. First, he didn't want to talk to us. He didn't want to associate with us. He thought that we were gang and we want to do something to this guy, right? We made him feel comfortable. I gave him a piece of paper. I says, "Tell me what you want. I want the cigar company." He wrote it down. We made a deal. I bought the company that night. And then after we finished, midnight, I said, "Now let's go back to your office." He said, "Why? Office is closed." I said, "My office should be open for me." I go upstairs.
Are you serious?
I go upstairs because there's a showroom in there.
Well,
so I picked 2 boxes of every cigar. I told my guy, I says, "Cancel our flight. We'll fly tomorrow afternoon. Upgrade my room to a room that has a balcony." I took like 80 boxes with me. I went to this room. I told the people, I says, "Don't call me for breakfast. Don't call me for lunch." I opened the window. I laid all the cigar on the bed. I pulled them out. I touched them. I felt them. I smelled them. I looked at him and I smoked from 1 a.m. to 4 p.m. the following day these cigars.
Oh my gosh.
And then when I went home, I got my wife what she wanted. El Septimo Cigars.
Wow, that is a story.
That's the dopest story.